Good evening and welcome to this service. Let us start by singing hymn 51, and I will read the second verse. God could not make imperfect man, his model infinite. Unhallowed thought he could not plan. Love's work and love must fit. Life, truth, and love the pattern make. Christ is the perfect heir. The clouds of sense roll back and show the form divinely fair. Hymn number 51.
Eternal mind, the potter is, and thought the eternal clay. The hand that fashions is divine, his works pass not away. Man is the noblest work of God, his beauty pure and grace. Immortal, perfect as his mind, reflected face to face. God could not make imperfect man, his model infinite. Unhallowed thought he could not plan, love's work and love must fit. Life, truth, and love the pattern make. Christ is the perfect heir. The clouds of sense roll back and show the form divinely fair. God's will is done, his kingdom come, the potter's work is plain. The longing to be good and true has brought the light again. And man does stand as God's own child, the image of his love. Let gladness ring from every tongue, and heaven and earth approve.
The subject of tonight's readings is In His Eyes, and I will be reading from the Bible and from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. From the Bible, Genesis. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Psalms. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Proverbs. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. Matthew. And when Jesus departed thence, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him. And Jesus saith unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it unto you. And their eyes were opened. Jesus said unto them, Go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their eyes are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Mark. Having eyes, see ye not? And having ears, hear ye not? And do ye not remember? And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees, walking. After that, he put his eyes again upon his eyes, and made him look up. And he was restored, and saw every man clearly. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God with one eye than having two eyes to be cast into hell fire. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his saltness, wherewith will ye season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another. John, Jesus saith unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh the harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. Romans. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And from Science and Health, the definition of eyes from the glossary. Spiritual eyes, spiritual discernment, not material, but mental. Jesus said, thinking of the outward vision, having eyes, see ye not? Mark chapter 8, verse 18. Because of human ignorance, if the disciple is advancing spiritually, he is striving to enter in. He constantly turns away from material sense and looks toward the imperishable things of spirit. If honest, he will be in earnest from the start and gain a little each day in the right direction, till at last he finishes his course with joy. Work out your own salvation is the demand of life and love, for to this end God worketh with you. Because of human ignorance of the divine principle, love, the Father of all, is represented as a corporeal creator. Hence, men recognize themselves as merely physical and are ignorant of man as God's image or reflection and of man's eternal, incorporeal existence. Love and truth are not at war with God's image and likeness. To those buried in the belief of sin and self, living only for pleasure or gratification of the senses, he said in substance, having eyes ye see not, and having ears ye hear not, lest ye should understand and be converted, and I might heal you. He taught that the material senses shut out truth and its healing power. The magnitude of Jesus' work, his material disappearance before their eyes, and his reappearance all enabled the disciples to understand what Jesus had said. Heretofore they had only believed. Now they understood. Jesus' students, not sufficiently advanced fully to understand their master's triumph, did not perform many wonderful works until they saw him after his crucifixion and learned that he had not died. This convinced them of the truthfulness of all that he had taught. In the walk to Emmaus, Jesus was known to his friends by the words, which made their hearts burn within them, and by the breaking of bread. Divine metaphysics reverses perverted and physical hypotheses as to deity, even as the explanation of objects rejects the incidental or inverted image and shows what this inverted image is meant to represent. Physiology is one of the apples from the tree of knowledge. Evil declared that eating this fruit would open man's eyes and make him as a god. Instead of so doing, it closed the eyes of mortals to man's God-given dominion over the earth. If the eyes see no sun for a week, we still believe that there is solar light and heat. Science, in this instance named natural, raises the human thought above the cruder theories of the human mind and casts out fear. In like manner, mortal should no more deny the power of Christian Science to establish harmony and to explain the effect of mortal mind on the body, though the cause be unseen, then they should deny the existence of the sunlight when the orb of day disappears, or doubt that the sun will reappear. Befogged in error, the error of believing that matter can be intelligent for good or evil, we can catch clear glimpses of God only as the mists disperse, or as they melt into such thinness that we perceive the divine image in some word or deed which indicates the true idea, the supremacy and reality of good, the nothingness and unreality of evil. The clay cannot reply to the potter. The head, heart, lungs, and limbs do not inform us that they are dizzy, diseased, consumptive, or lame. If this information is conveyed, mortal mind conveys it. Neither immortal and unerring mind, nor matter, the inanimate substratum of mortal mind, can carry on such telegraphy. For God is of purer eyes than to behold evil, and matter has neither intelligence nor sensation. If it is true that nerves have sensation, that matter has intelligence, that the material organism causes the eyes to see and the ears to hear, then, when the body is dematerialized, these faculties must be lost, for their immortality is not in spirit. Whereas the fact is that only through dematerialization and spiritualization of thought can these faculties be conceived of as immortal. I have seen age regain two of the elements it had lost, sight and teeth. A woman of 85, who I knew, had a return of sight. Another woman at 90 had new teeth, incisors, cuspids, bicuspids, and one molar. One man at 60 had retained his full set of upper and lower teeth without a decaying cavity. Beauty, as well as truth, is eternal. But the beauty of material things passes away, fading and fleeting as mortal belief. Custom, education, and fashion form the transient standards of mortals. Immortality, exempt from age or decay, has a glory of its own, the radiance of soul. Immortal men and women are models of spiritual sense, drawn by perfect mind and reflecting those higher conceptions of loveliness which transcend all material sense. When, led by wisdom to cast down his rod, he saw it become a serpent, Moses fled before it. But wisdom bade him come back and handle the serpent, and then Moses' fear departed. In this incident was seen the actuality of science. Matter was shown to be a belief only. The serpent, evil, under wisdom's bidding, was destroyed through understanding divine science, and this proof was a staff upon which to lean. The illusion of Moses lost its power to alarm him when he discovered that what he apparently saw was really but a phase of mortal belief. I have neither seen God nor his image and likeness. Neither God nor the perfect man can be discerned by the material senses. The individuality of spirit, or the infinite, is unknown, and thus a knowledge of it is left either to human conjecture or to the revelation of divine science. Unless the works are comprehended, which his works explained, the words are blind. The master often refused to explain his words because it was difficult in a material age to apprehend spiritual truth. He said, "This people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them." God is of purer eyes than to behold evil. We sustain truth not by accepting, but by rejecting a lie. Jesus said of personified evil that it was a liar and the father of it. Truth creates neither a lie, a capacity to lie, nor a liar. If mankind would relinquish the belief that God makes sickness, sin, and death, or makes man capable of suffering on account of this malevolent triad, the foundations of error would be sapped and error's destruction ensured. Eradicate the image of disease from the perturbed thought before it has taken tangible shape in conscious thought, alias the body, and you prevent the development of disease. Mortal mind rules all that is mortal. We see in the body the images of this mind. Even as in optics, we see painted on the retina the image which becomes visible to the senses. The action of so-called mortal mind must be destroyed by the divine mind to bring out the harmony of being. Without divine control, there is discord, manifest as sin, sickness, and death. The procuring cause and foundation of all sickness is fear, ignorance, or sin. Disease is always induced by a false sense mentally entertained, not destroyed. Disease is an image of thought externalized. The mental state is called a material state. Whatever is cherished in mortal mind as the physical condition is imaged forth on the body. A Christian scientist occupies the place at this period of which Jesus spoke to his disciples when he said, "Ye are the salt of the earth. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid." Let us watch, work, and pray that this salt lose not its saltness, and that this light be not hid, but radiate and glow into noontime glory. Let us hold a moment of silent prayer, followed by the audible repetition of the Lord's Prayer, its spiritual interpretation being omitted. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Now let us sing hymn 59. I'll read the second verse. Run the straight race through God's good grace. Lift up thine eyes and seek his face. Life with its way before us lies. Christ is the path and Christ the prize. Hymn 59.
Fight the good fight with all thy might. Christ is thy strength and Christ thy right. Lay hold on life, and it shall be thy joy and crown eternally. Thy joy and crown eternally. Run the straight race through God's good grace. Lift up thine eyes and seek his face. Life with its way before us lies. Christ is the path and Christ the prize. Christ is the path and Christ the prize. Faint not nor fear, his arms are near. He changeth not, and thou art dear. On him rely, and thou shalt see that Christ is all in all to thee. That Christ is all in all to thee.
The members of this church extend a warm welcome to those in the congregation who are visiting us this evening, and to those that are listening to this service on Zoom. If you would like more information about Christian Science, please ask the usher for assistance. This church is a branch of the Mother Church, the First Church of Christ Scientist in Boston, Massachusetts. The Bible lesson sermon read here and in Christian Science churches throughout the world on Sunday morning helps individuals to meet their needs with divine truth. Our Sunday service and Sunday school begin at 10 a.m. In our Sunday school, children and teenagers learn that God is love, a tangible help in their lives. In our reading room, a quiet sanctuary in this building, you may study, borrow, or purchase the Bible, the Christian Science textbook, the Christian Science Monitor, an international weekly news magazine, and other Christian Science literature. Every member of the church has a key, and we will be happy to open the reading room for you by appointment anytime you wish. Everyone is invited to attend our services, use the reading room, and bring the children to Sunday school. You're also welcome to visit our website and our YouTube recordings. Just look for Third Church Miami. This evening, right after the service, we will have a special song titled In His Eyes, written and composed by a Christian Scientist, Mindy Jostin, and played by Eli, our soloist, on his guitar. So please stay with us after the service. This meeting is now open to you to share testimonies of healing and remarks on Christian Science. If you're joining us by Zoom, please don't forget to unmute yourself so we can hear you. Well, if there are no further testimonies, we can sing hymn 85 and then close with the In His Eyes song played by Eli. I'll read the second verse of hymn 85. Open now our eyes to see, as the clouds of sense are riven, we behold reality, know the glory of thy heaven. So we seek thy perfect healing through the truth of thy revealing. Hymn 85.
his eyes, you're a fire that never goes out, a light on the top of a hill. In his eyes, you're a poet, a painter, a prophet, with a mission of love to fulfill. Outside there's a world so enchantingly strange, a maze of illusion and lies. But there's never a story that ever could change the glory of you in his eyes. In his eyes, you're a radiant vision of beauty, a gemstone cut one of a kind. You're as fine as a diamond, deep as a ruby, rare as a jade in his mind. No need to believe all you may have been told, no need to live in disguise. You're brighter than silver, purer than gold, a pearl beyond price in his eyes. You're an innocent child in the sight of his face, no cause for blame or fear or disgrace. He sees only goodness, his vision is true, and nothing can change the perfection of you in his eyes. In his eyes, you're a fire that never goes out, a light on the top of a hill. You're a rose in a forest, a prelude from Bach, a triumph of heavenly skill. Outside there's a world that keeps breaking your heart and tearing your dreams down to size. But guiding you homeward, piercing the dark, is the love light that shines in his eyes. Now and forever, that light never dies. You're dearly beloved in his eyes.